One of the four new services that we're launching is what we call as InfraSecure, which basically has firewall log analysis. We're already offering some security services through our data center, which is managed firewalls and managed intrusion prevention. But this gives you a comprehensive network attack management. We've also partnered with other partners to offer ethical hacking and penetration testing services. And as I said, we are also doing firewall log analysis. That's another new service that we've offered. So there's a pretty significant investment that we're making in the information security space. One is the trend towards acceptance of remote security services. The second thing is another trend that we're seeing is a lot of customers were not aware of what a security incident could cost them. Now we've with more and more security attacks that occurred not only in India but also overseas, and some of them are widely publicized. Like for example, there have been some government defacing of sites, from cyber terrorists, if you will, or some government information leaking, etc. So there's a lot of these are gained more prominence recently, and therefore a lot of the customers have now realized the impact of a security incident. How we plan to increase the spread is, one is geographically, right? We want to be able. So it's not that we're trying to increase a vertical, but more trying to increase geographically, and also from the size of customers to target the SMEs as well as geographic spread. We are adopting a channel strategy for that. So reaching out to them through channels. As far as the only one major vertical that we've not really attacked, which is a pretty large IT spender, which is the government vertical. Again, we plan to partner with other organizations that are working actively with the government and becoming kind of a partner to them to provide services to the government. We see is looking at providing different modes of access. So, for example, wireless access is going to become huge with the spectrum auction slated to happen shortly. More and more large service providers are looking at increasing their reach through wireless connectivity, but we're also seeing a trend towards offering triple play services, so voice, data, video on the same pipe, right? And from our perspective as a service provider, our trend is towards providing more managed services to our corporate customers. We are not so much in the retail space. For B and C class cities, right now predominantly through channel partners. We've divided the country into three regions really. It's basically north and east, west and south, and we're going to have channel managers we have channel managers in each of these regions, and so they will have a network of channels that will initially target B and C grade. As we deploy our data center footprint and our NOC footprint in some of these cities, like for example in the first phase, we're looking at the major cities, Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, and all. The next phase we look at Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, and we already have a development center in Pune. If you look at the internet growth statistics, right, the maximum growth is happening in B and C class cities. I think I'm not saying that the largest cities are saturated, but the rate of growth in the largest cities is not as high as the B and C class cities. So I think there's a tremendous potential for B and C class cities. Also, some of these cities have low-cost power and abundance of power. All the investment in our data centers is towards how do we make them more energy efficient, whether it's in the layout, that we when we set up data centers, whether it's in the kind of buildings that we use, whether it's in the kind of server technology that we use, or the UPSs that we use, or it's the air conditioning system that we use. Our intention is to make it more energy efficient. The reason is multifold. Of course, the first is the environmental reason. Then it's even from a pure business perspective, the cost of power, right, is only increasing every year. And last 2 years we've had back-to-back increases. And so, if you're energy efficient, you're going to pass on the benefit to your customers. More customers are using blade servers, right, as opposed to standalone servers. The servers are becoming more and more, more CPU power, more memory, more I/O. packed in a smaller footprint. So the challenge for us as a data center company is how do you cool these servers? Um, uh, but but we also see a trend towards virtual servers. Both we still see, on servers. We also, another major trend that we see is server consolidation. So traditionally, customers may have had multiple standalone servers. They may consolidate this to a fewer number of more powerful, maybe blade servers or other servers. They may consolidate the storage that is spread across multiple servers to a single storage area network. So we're seeing a lot of trend towards virtualization, consolidation, and blade technology. The data center business is more capital intensive, so naturally because it is a lot of capex involved, capital expenditure involved. Most of the funds that we've raised are going towards the build out of new data centers as we're expanding our footprint. RIM, for example, is not as capital intensive. You don't have to spend 22,000 rupees a square foot for a service like RIM. So if you look at it, I would say 80% of our investment this year would go towards the build out of data centers, and 20% would be in value added services like RIM and other services.